Having a technological whiz in the family like Chris Ciccatelli means nothing is off limits, not even the future. This is a house you can talk to.
Computer, what is the ambient temperature?
And it talks back.
75 degrees.
It will light up the yard, cool down the house, even feed the cat. Just ask.
Computer, lights.
The house stands ready to help make your life safer, more convenient, and more affordable. And your wish becomes its command.
The first software in the world to offer a whole house voice control capability.
Chris is a computer genius and businessman. He turned his parents' comfortable 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom home into a seriously chatty house like no other on the planet. No fancy touchpads here. Just a home that listens and talks back, making your life easier.
Computer, what is the forecast for tomorrow?
Tomorrow will be cloudy with a high of 68 and a low of 63.
I grew up watching Star Trek on TV, and you could speak to the ship. You could walk into your room and turn on the lights. You could ask your questions, and no matter where you were on the ship, you could speak to it, and it spoke back to you. And when I was younger, that led me to get into the home automation technology.
And who better to use as guinea pigs for his experiments than his parents? Alan and Lois Ciccatelli live on an island overlooking Newport, Rhode Island. When they decided to remodel their 6,500 square foot house, Chris seized the chance to catapult it into the future.
Computer, lights on. He's looking for ways to make our lives easier as we get older.
Chris wanted this house to respond to his folks 24/7. So he installed tiny microphones in every room that never shut off.
So it's constantly listening to you, constantly trying to interpret what you're saying. And when you speak something that it understands, like turn on the lights or adjust the thermostat, change the channel, get the weather, then it responds.
Computer, set the cool set point to 68 degrees.
No software existed that would do what Chris wanted, so he designed his own, calling it CastleOS.
I spent approximately 2 years in design and development. For starters, I was working alone when I launched the company and developed the software. So it was problems that might have been solved with a 2-minute dialogue, took 2 hours of me banging my head against the wall instead. It literally is designed to go into anything in your home that consumes electricity and make it smart. Computer, dim the chandelier by 50%.
Computer, lights.
Creating the smart technology was tricky enough. But then Chris had to become a jack of all trades.
I'd never done all this electrical work before, so I had to get the proper training to learn what is needed when you install electric switches and messing around with breakers and stuff like that. So there was a learning curve there.
Chris didn't stop with the lights. He was obsessed with infiltrating every square inch of the house.
I'm in the bathroom, blow drying my hair, rushing to get ready for a friend coming by, and they're here 5 minutes early. They ring the doorbell. Computer, open the back door.
Absolutely no detail was left out of Chris's plan. Not home to feed the cat? Chris figured out how to connect an electronic feeder to his system.
Computer, turn on the TV.
For Lois and Alan, living in a talking house took some getting used to.
You're a creature of habit, and so you're used to flipping a switch the normal way, etc. But as you get used to it, it comes easy, and it's super convenient.
When he first started programming, he was like, yeah. It's like, whew, over my head. But the more he got involved with it, I'm like, wow, this kid's onto something.
At this point, I tell my dad, this feature, I'll have it ready in 3 weeks in the next release, and he'll ask me 3 days later, is it done yet? So he's really embracing it, which is funny because he's not a tech guy.
Chris also insisted that this house keep his family safe, programming it to detect fires and call 911. This place will even pinch pennies for you. So far, it's saved money, up to 30% on the electric bill.
You really don't think about how much you're spending in the electric bill until that bill comes out every month. It's like, oh my God, what the heck did I do?
Since they spend a lot of time in their backyard, Lois and Alan added 75 outdoor lights, but controlling them was going to cost a bundle.
It would have required opening up a lot of walls, a lot of ceilings, and snaking a lot of cables. Instead, we use CastleOS and remote controls to enable the same capability without having to open up any walls.
Even from their boat, it lets them flip on the lights using a phone.
Computer, tune to Destination America.
Every time I use the voice control, I feel like I'm on the bridge of the Starship Enterprise. It gets me a little giddy inside.
The thing that the Ciccatellis love most about their smart home is that their son created it.
I think home automation is the future. Your home is your castle, and why not make it as safe and efficient and, of course, more convenient for you to live in. And that's maybe the American way.
Especially when your son has conquered the remote control.
Computer, who's the most amazing woman in the world?
That would be your gorgeous girlfriend Amanda. Isn't it obvious?
So what's the cost for turning an ordinary home into a your wish is my command genius?
Lights.
The surprising answer is coming up. A home where owners do the talking.
Computer, lights on.
And the house does the walking. Turning on lights, locking the door, even feeding the cat. Because Chris did all the wiring himself, he saved the expense of an electrician. The cost of just the software and bringing the future into this Rhode Island home? A very smart and affordable $12,000.